Imagine building a life for over 2 decades, raising a beautiful family in the spotlight, only to have a single piece of paper threaten to tear the foundation apart. We've seen the highs and the lows of the Harris empire, but nothing could have prepared fans for the bombshell that just dropped. The internet is currently in a meltdown over reports that T.I. has officially confronted Tiny Harris following the arrival of DNA test results that have left the King of the South questioning everything. We aren't just talking about a minor disagreement or a typical reality TV spat. We are talking about a mystery that goes deep into the roots of their family tree. For years, rumors have swirled in the dark corners of the industry, but they were always dismissed as hater talk. But now, the silence has been broken. Sources close to the couple suggest that the atmosphere inside their mansion is heavy, with T.I. demanding answers that Tiny might not be ready to give. Is the legacy of the Harris family built on a secret, as the mystery of the real father deepens? The world is watching Tiny's every move. Was this a long-buried truth from the early days, or is there a new player in this drama that we haven't met yet? The tension is palpable, the stakes are at an all-time high, and the grand hustle might be facing its biggest challenge yet. Stay tuned, because we are diving deep into the confrontation, the evidence, and the fallout that is shaking Atlanta to its core. Don't go anywhere. This is the untold chapter of T.I. and Tiny that no one saw coming. The heat in Atlanta right now isn't coming from the Georgia sun. It's radiating from inside the walls of the Harris estate. T.I. and Tiny Harris, synonymous with hip-hop royalty, have built an empire on the foundation of hustle, loyalty, and family. They've survived prison stints, high-profile legal battles, and the prying eyes of reality TV cameras for over 2 decades. But today, a shadow has fallen over the grand hustle legacy that no public relations team can easily sweep under the rug. A mystery involving DNA results has surfaced, leaving the King of the South demanding answers to questions he never imagined. He'd have to ask. The scene behind the scenes is chilling. Reportedly, T.I. sat in his private study, a standard-looking manila envelope resting on his desk. To any outsider, it looked like legal paperwork or a business contract. But inside those pages lay a biological revelation that threatened to rewrite the history of his household. Sources close to the inner circle suggest that for months, Tip had been receiving cryptic messages, anonymous tips, and vintage photographs from the early 2000s that planted a seed of doubt. Initially, he dismissed them as the work of clout chasers or bitter enemies. However, as the details became too specific to ignore, he took the quiet route to find the truth. When those results finally landed in his hands, the reality was far more complex than a simple yes or no. The confrontation that followed was nothing short of cinematic. T.I., a man known for his expansive vocabulary and his ability to remain composed under pressure, reportedly bypassed the shouting and went straight to the evidence. He approached Tiny with the documents spread out, looking for a chronological breakdown of their timeline. We're talking about those gray areas in their marriage, the periods when they were publicly separated, the times Tip was away on tour, or the months he spent behind bars. In the high-stakes world of celebrity breaks often come with secrets, and T.I. began to wonder if one of those secrets had grown up right in front of his eyes. Tiny, the backbone of the Harris clan, and a woman who has defended her husband against every cheating scandal and legal hurdle, was reportedly blindsided. For her, this wasn't just a legal inquiry. It was a profound insult to her character and her devotion. She has stood by him through the darkest chapters of his life, and to have her loyalty questioned through a lab report felt like the ultimate betrayal. However, in the face of T.I.'s relentless interrogation, the atmosphere grew cold. The real father mystery began to take shape as T.I. allegedly asked the one question that can never be unheard: is there someone else's blood running through this house? As news of this tension leaked to the streets of Atlanta, fans began doing what they do best again. Social media detectives started scouring through 20 years of archives. They are looking at old episodes of The Family Hustle, analyzing childhood photos, and comparing facial features with an intensity usually reserved for FBI investigations. The narrative began to shift toward the early 2000s, a period when Tiny was navigating the transition from escape to management. During those years, she was surrounded by the industry's elite trappers, producers, and executives. If the DNA results are showing a discrepancy, the world wants to know who was the man in the shadows. T.I.'s mindset during this conflict is described as surgical. He isn't interested in excuses, he is obsessed with his legacy. To a man who prides himself on his lineage and the Harris name, biology is everything. If the bloodline isn't pure, he views it as a crack in the foundation of everything he's built. This isn't just about a potential affair, it's about the authenticity of his life's work. The script of their lives, which once looked like a storybook of black excellence, is now being scrutinized for plot holes and hidden characters. Meanwhile, Tiny's defense remains rooted in the emotional labor she has provided for 20 years. Her stance is simple. If the trust is so fragile that a piece of paper can shatter it, was there ever any trust at all? But T.I. remains fixated on the how and the who. He has allegedly begun a private audit of their history, looking for names that pop up too frequently in old phone logs or flight records. He is looking for a ghost from the past who might have a claim to his throne. The tension has effectively split the Harris mansion into two camps. The staff and close associates describe a heavy silence that fills the hallways. This isn't a typical reality TV spat that can be resolved with a heartfelt conversation on camera. This is a fundamental crisis of identity. T.I. is reportedly refusing to back down until every child's heritage is verified beyond a shadow of a doubt. This demand for total transparency has pushed Tiny to her limit, leading to rumors that she has already consulted with her own legal counsel to protect herself from what she perceives as a character assassination by her own husband. The mystery deepens when you consider the timing. Why now? Why, after all these years of unity, is this coming to light? Some speculate that a former business associate with a grudge leaked the information to destabilize the couple. Others believe that a third party, the potential biological father, has recently reached out, seeking to make amends or claim a stake in the children's lives. Whoever this mysterious figure is, their presence is felt in every room of the Harris home. As we conclude this first chapter of the saga, the stakes couldn't be higher. We are witnessing the potential unraveling of a dynasty. T.I. is standing on one side with the evidence, and Tiny is on the other with her history of loyalty. Between them lies a DNA report that has turned their happily ever after into a whodunit. The real father mystery is no longer a whisper in the clubs of Atlanta. It is a roar that is shaking the very core of hip-hop culture. In the next part, we will move away from the mansion and into the industry archives, identifying the specific candidates and the other man theories that have T.I. looking over his shoulder. The search for the truth is just beginning, and as the mystery deepens, the Harris family may never be the same again. As the dust begins to settle on the initial confrontation, a much more clinical and calculated investigation begins. In the streets of Atlanta and the deep forums of the internet, the question has shifted from, is it true, to who is he? If T.I.'s world has been rocked by the suggestion that the bloodline isn't what it seems, his first instinct, true to his grand hustle persona, is to identify the source. This second chapter of the mystery dives into the murky waters of the early 2000s, an era of legendary parties, studio luck-ins, and a music industry that was far less documented than the social media age we live in today. To understand the candidates in this mystery, one must look back at the timeline of the Harris relationship. T.I. and Tiny began their journey together when the hip-hop scene was a different beast. Tiny was already industry royalty as a member of Escape, and Tip was the hungry, rising star looking to claim the throne of the South. During their early years, the relationship was famously volatile. There were periods of breaks and pauses that the public only caught glimpses of through tabloid headlines. It is during these specific windows of time that T.I. is now focusing his forensic gaze. The first category of candidates involves the studio ghosts. In the early 2000s, Tiny was heavily involved in songwriting and artist management. She was often in the studio late into the night with some of the biggest producers and rappers of the era. Sources claim that T.I. has been looking into specific namesmen who were part of Tiny's professional circle. While Tip was serving time or away on rigorous promotional tours, the mystery deepens because many of these men are still relevant. In the industry today, imagine the fallout if a high-ranking producer or a rival rapper were revealed to be the biological link to a Harris child. The potential for a hidden history is what has T.I. allegedly reviewing old call logs and tour schedules with the precision of a detective. Then there is the secret flame theory. Within the inner circles of Atlanta's elite, rumors have occasionally surfaced about a specific individual from Tiny's past, a man who wasn't a rapper, but a wealthy entrepreneur who moved in the same social circles as Escape. According to industry insiders, T.I. has always been weary of this individual's lingering presence. If the DNA results point toward someone outside the music industry, it changes the dynamic of the betrayal. It suggests a double life that was maintained with surgical precision. T.I. is reportedly obsessed with the idea that he might have been playing house with a legacy that was partially authored by a man he once considered a distant acquaintance. The tension escalated further when reports surfaced that a mystery man had recently reached out to a prominent Atlanta law firm. The rumor mill suggests that this individual isn't just looking for a headline, he is looking for a seat at the table. If a third party is truly claiming paternity, the legal implications for the Harris empire are staggering. We are talking about potential claims to the Harris estate, inheritance rights, and the shattering of a brand that has made millions off the image of a perfectly blended family. T.I. is not just fighting for his ego, he is fighting for the legal integrity of his kingdom. While T.I. is looking for a villain, the public has started to notice the resemblance factor. On platforms like TikTok and Instagram, side-by-side comparisons of the Harris children and various industry figures have gone viral. While these are often based on nothing more than grainy photos and coincidence, they fuel the fire of the real father mystery. One specific comparison involves a former associate of the Grand Hustle family, a man who was once very close to the couple but suddenly vanished from their inner circle years ago without explanation. Was he pushed out because of a secret, or did he leave to avoid the very confrontation that is happening now? The psychological toll on T.I. is becoming more apparent. Those close to him say he is stuck in a loop of rewatching his own life. He is looking at old home movies, photos of his children as infants, and trying to find the moment where the truth might have been hidden in plain sight. For a man who values being the smartest guy in the room, the idea that he might have been misled for decades is a bitter pill to swallow. It has turned his mansion into a war room, where every old friend is a suspect and every memory is being cross-examined. Tiny, meanwhile, is facing a different kind of pressure. In this part of the saga, her silence is being interpreted in two ways, either as the quiet dignity of a woman wrongly accused, or as the calculated caution of someone whose past has finally caught up with them. However, Tiny is no stranger to industry warfare. She knows where the bodies are buried, and sources suggest that if T.I. continues this public paternity hunt, she may be forced to reveal secrets of his own that could be just as damaging. The mystery isn't just about a father, it's about the mutual assured destruction of hip-hop's most famous couple. As the other man theories continue to multiply, a new name has entered the chatter. Prominent athlete who is frequently seen with Tiny's entourage during a particularly rocky year for the couple. This addition to the list of candidates has sent the internet into a frenzy. It suggests that the mystery spans multiple industries, making the web of secrets even larger than Tip originally feared. The chapter ends with a shocking development, a leaked text message, allegedly from T.I.'s phone, where he mentions a meeting with one of these candidates. Whether this meeting is for a peaceful resolution or a violent confrontation remains unknown. But one thing is certain, the ghosts of the early 2000s have returned to Atlanta, and they aren't leaving until the truth is written in stone. T.I. is no longer just a rapper or a reality star. He is a man on a mission to reclaim his history, even if it means burning down the house he spent 20 years building. In the next part, we will explore the family fallout, how the Harris children are reacting to these public accusations, and the moment the real father candidate finally breaks his silence with the real father. Candidates being whispered about in every corner of the industry. The drama has moved from the private study of T.I. to the very heart of the Harris household. This isn't just about a husband and wife anymore, it's about a legacy that spans across several children, each of whom is now living under the microscope of public scrutiny. The third chapter of this saga explores the emotional wreckage left in the wake of the DNA bombshell, and the moment a voice from the past finally decides to break its silence. The atmosphere inside the Harris mansion is reportedly iscold. The children, who have grown up in the spotlight of the family hustle, are now seeing their private lives dismantled on social media. For the older children, like Zonique, Domani, and Messiah, the situation is surreal. They have spent their lives defending the Harris brand, only to find themselves questioning the very fabric of their identity. Sources close to the family say that the younger children are being shielded as much as possible, but in the age of smartphones, the mystery father headlines are impossible to avoid. T.I., driven by his need for absolute truth, has reportedly demanded that the older children also cooperate with further testing to clear the air once and for all. This move has caused a massive rift between him and his kids. Many of them view this not as a search for truth, but as an act of paranoia that disregards the years of love and parenting they've shared. The question echoing through the halls of the estate is, does biology matter more than the man who raised us? For T.I., the answer is complicated by his pride. For the children, the answer is a heartbreaking no. While the family is fracturing from within, the real father mystery takes a shocking turn. For weeks, the industry has speculated about who the other man could be. Then, it happened. A former associate from the early 2000s, a man whose name had been surfacing in the rumor mill, posted a cryptic message on his Instagram story. It was a simple black background with the words, "The truth has a way of coming out when the time is right. I've stayed quiet for 20 years, out of respect, but I won't be erased." The internet went into a collective meltdown. Who is this man? To the casual fan, he might be a stranger, but to those deep in the Atlanta music scene, he is a ghost from the era when Tiny and T.I. first started. He was someone who was there before the fame reached its peak, someone who shared the same studios and the same circles. His sudden decision to speak, even in riddles, has turned the real father mystery from a theory into a looming reality. Reports suggest that T.I. reacted to this post with controlled fury. He allegedly reached out to his legal team to draft a cease and desist order, but the damage was already done. The public began connecting the dots, comparing this man's features to the children once again, but this time with a specific face to match the theories. The silent voice wasn't just speaking, it was challenging the king of the South in his own backyard. Tiny's reaction to this specific individual stepping forward has been one of strategic distance. While she hasn't confirmed any involvement with him, those in her camp suggest she is terrified of how T.I. will handle this new development. Tip is a man of honor, but he is also a man of action. The fear is that this could move beyond a legal battle and into a personal vendetta that could destroy everyone involved. The script then moves to the industry fallout. Other celebrities are now being forced to take sides. We've seen cryptic tweets from people like 50 Cent, who never misses. An opportunity to poke at a rival's misfortune. Even members of Escape are reportedly divided, with some supporting Tiny's privacy and others suggesting that the truth will set everyone free. The Harris family is no longer an island. They are a spectacle in a coliseum, and the world is voting with their likes and comments. As part reaches its climax, we see T.I. at a crossroads. He has the DNA results, he has the rumors, and now he has a face to put to the mystery. But as he looks at the children, he has raised the ones he's taught to be strong. The ones he's protected from the world, he has to decide if he's willing to lose his family just to prove he was right. The mystery deepens because the silent voice hasn't given the full story yet. He has only teased the truth. Is he looking for a payout? Is he looking for a relationship with the children? Or is he a pawn in a much larger game to take down the Harris empire? The tension is at a breaking point, and the final chapter of this saga is the only thing that can provide the final verdict. But the real question remains, is a father the one who shares the DNA, or the one who stays to raise the child? This mystery is far from over, and as more results surface, the Harris empire hangs in the balance. What do you think? Is this a calculated move to destroy T.I. and Tiny, or has the truth finally caught up with them? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reading every single one. And if you want to stay updated on the real father, final verdict, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next.